Desktop audio. I don't need desktop audio, though, do I? How's that? Hey! Wow. That is great. No echoes. Good. All right. I'm taking the headphones off now. So, hello, everybody. I'm going to go scroll up for all of you patient people who've waited while I do tech support on myself. I hate not having one system set up for streaming. The problem is that we have, like, the PCs that we use the PCs, so they can't always be set up, and they're also used for Zoom, and they're also used for Tech Bandits, which is not streamed. So I'm constantly having to set up and reset up things. So hello to obviously Pac Mom for being very, very patient, Polynomial for pointing out that I had no sound. And who else we got? Vamptonius, what a great name. Even Star 26, hello. Xenos, who else we've got here? We've got Saren Smithsarn. We've got, Delk Grafen, that sounds, what a great sounding name. Vamptonius, Xenos, yay, Xenos. Happy Ninja Simi. We've got, Sally Sal 9, woohoo, Paperclips, woohoo. Who else we got? Proto, Pyro, hello, Polynomial, Hippie Ninja Simi, we've said hello. Saren Cavensar said hello to you. DeMartine, Echo, 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 Echo. And you what 8-bit Slovic. Which is a name I'm never ever going to get right. Hapshade, how are you, Hapshade? And anyone else I've missed here? Who else have I gotten here? James Gurney. It's a great remix, I know. It's my latest release, James Gurney. It's my latest dance number. Who else we got? Puddle Jumper 67. Hello, hello, hello. Puddle Jumper, I thought you were changing yourself to Gateship 67. I just, I thought that was something you were thinking about doing. Lady Shelley, Bashful Apothic, hello. I think that's got everyone. And we have Apollo W53, Silver Chimera Dragon. Ooh, you can't lose a name like that. And who else can we got to say hi to before I run out of... Okay, Chris Crossstitch. Let me guess. A soda crafter, perhaps? Digital Senior, hello. Orphiana, I like that. What else we got? Anybody else I've missed? Jeremy, 53. Hey, David, so glad to be joining your chat from Australia. All right. Oh, Australia. Man, I wish we could go there. Between us, I mean, what a freaking great place Australia is. Redeemed hydrate. I guess that means I'm drinking my coffee. So check it out. I'm going to find my inner elf. That's what I'm doing today. I was the largest mug I could find. So I say, screw it if it's Christmas or not. I need this much coffee. And I've almost finished it yet. The Martins from Quebec. Bonjour. Je me souviens, I believe was it what they have on their driver's license things, or not driver's license, on their license plates. Let the hydration continue. Germany here for Fengar. We've got Carson Fano, evening from Germany again. Lots of Germany. I guess we're early enough for Germany today, aren't we? I gotta say, while I may have a total Zoom, I get it like Zoom fatigue for sure. I am not tired of doing these streams. I freaking love this. It's like, I guess I've always quite liked sort of radio and stuff. I've certainly got a face for radio. As a kid, I used to record like radio shows and listen to them back like podcasts back in the cassette days when you could record things. In fact, I even got a cassette one, and I used to record them and give them to friends for people who missed them and stuff. So, but the difference I think between this and the Zoom thing is that you're constantly, the Zoom fatigue. I'd be curious to know what people's thoughts are on it. I think it's got something to do with the latency. There's something about not being able to step on each other, not being able to pick up, I feel like it's almost like being in another country speaking another language that but that it still takes a bit of effort to do. And I think that's sort of where I get that, where I get sort of the fatigue on that stuff. See you at FedCon in July. Carson Fano, I would love that to happen, but it's not going to happen. No, I'm afraid from a FedCon standpoint, we're not going to get out of here. There is no way we're going to be flying by July. And I mean, I say that as if I know what I'm talking about, but the reality is we haven't even opened the border with this U.S. properly yet, so I can't imagine us flying to Germany anytime soon. And also, frankly, we've got more people with Corona than Germany does now, don't we? Isn't that the way it is right now? Oh my gosh, I promised myself I wasn't going to go total COVID on this, but I'm curious to know people's thoughts on the Zoom fatigue. Yeah, it's the half duplex thing, isn't it? Oh, half duplex. That reminds me of the Commodore 64 modem days. Yeah. So basically, the idea being is that let me see if I've got this right. When you speak on a Zoom chat, they can't have it going both ways at the same time. It would just use up so much bandwidth to sort of condense bandwidth. They not only compress your voice, they also have algorithms to choose when things are sending or receiving. So because you don't need to be hearing while you're speaking from the old days standpoint, but if you want to truly have a conversation, you need to be able to do both. I really like Dark Rogue. Toronto just had 10,000 at the park last week. I mean, I just despair. I mean, we were talking about Memorial Day yesterday because I had this amazing 1440 makers. Oh my gosh, 1440 makers, thank you so much. Shane, everybody involved in that. The 3D printing community as a whole is almost as amazing as our Twitch folks here and our YouTube people. I just, our Patreons, of course. But just absolutely wonderful stream. I did 4.5 hours of talking, 3D design, and we still didn't even get to everybody. There's still people, some of our European 3D printing nerds didn't even get a chance to do their little presentations and stuff. So I'm doing another one. I'm going to do another one for sure. I just absolutely loved it. I think that 3D design is how you rule the world, frankly. Those are the skills. It applies to almost every aspect of careers and art and everything now. That I think it's like an essential skill, frankly. So I think oh my God, I watched 500 hours of that, and it was amazing to watch. Didn't even realize it was going for 45 hours. What was that? 45 hours of what? 1440 Makers was great. Oh, fantastic, Polynoma. Polynoma, you bowed out at 4 hours. Well, I bowed out soon after that, to be honest. 500 hours of what? Of 1440 Makers? 4.5 hours. Is that how long I did, Shelley? I'd be curious to know how long I actually did. So his River Song says it was 4.5 hours. Yeah, that's not bad. Given that I said it was 3. Originally they said it to be 2 hours, and I was like, well, 2 hours. I mean, 2 hours goes by so fast, and and God knows I can talk, so why not, set it for 3? And I just want to support those folks because they had a great discussion where we talked about the difference between asking for help from programming and coders and asking for help for 3D printing, and just how Asperger's and trollish some of the coding community can be about code. Read the freaking manual type stuff, and which I totally understand, being one of those nerds myself. I get that. I don't like it when people come in and say, like, give me the answer to this. It's like, well, work it out. But again, there are some people who just don't have time for that. Like, especially in the teaching environment right now, where you're just trying to get stuff done. And just that a number of the 3D printing folks had sort of run up against this sort of wall of negativity from some of the coding people, and I was like, look, it's not all coding people, trust me. I definitely think it's a different sort of it's at a different space online now, that kind of online help stuff. So oh my God, James Journey's trying to do some command line stuff right now. Well, James, go online and ask some of the communities, and you'll get yelled at for being an idiot. And why didn't you read the manual and all that kind of stuff? So can't for the life of me get the right thing to work and trying to copy a file with a pattern. Oh yes, the grep, using grep for that. Oh my gosh, I've been playing with grep. I've been playing with globs. I love that. Global expressions is what they use for that. But come on, James, you're like our studio. You should be able to do that. Then rename it after directory it came from. Oh, that is a fun one. Any coders out there who can help James out, or just call him an idiot, because that's apparently what happens. I was using Find. Oh, I like Find. Hi everybody. Time for lunch break. Good, Bertley. It's always time to eat. It's never a wrong time for eating. So go back to I don't know if I missed the stuff about Zoom fatigue. Anyone else got any thoughts on that? Why it's such a exhausting process? I think the problem with some of the coding forums is the vote down button. It encourages people to be negative. You think so? I I gotta be honest, I have not posted a lot of questions because honestly, maybe that's it. I haven't posted a lot of questions because there's always an answer out there for the most part. There's very few times I can think of that I've gone like, where I haven't been able to sort of drill down and find an answer. And I suppose if you're in the coding community, and the coding community is much older than the 3D printing community, so there isn't that still that same kind of evangelical zeal to the coding side of stuff. That I think you just have to do your homework, and I guess that's it. I mean, I think for the most part, most of the questions have been answered before, so that's so that might be it. In fact, I may have answered my own question right there. So the reason is because they want people to do the work, and if you're not willing to do the work, why should they give you the answer? I suppose. Yeah, there's definitely a certain part of it, look, I even find this about people coming online all of a sudden. It's like, oh, great, there's like a virus, and now everyone and their mother, their dog, and their goldfish is online doing a podcast of some sort. I was like, we've been on for a whole year almost. And of course, Baz said, most people have been on for way longer than us. And I was like, yeah, no, it's true. We're newbies to this too. And everyone was incredibly welcoming in us doing that as well. So, but I feel kind of like, cool now. I've been, oh yeah, no, we've been streaming for like a year now. Grr ads. What's the ads? Legend of Shammy. Oh, does it make you watch an ad when you come in? Is that what yeah. GG Giraffes. Hello, everybody, says GG Giraffes. GG Giraffes. Any new gaming videos that people should be watching? Giraffes is in my Tech Bandits and is actually, yeah. Thank you for stopping by, Giraffes. You're very good about popping on when I go live. You're almost as good as James Gurney and Pac-Mum on this stuff. Actually, I should say that. There's like so many regular people now. I can't even keep track of everybody. Regex. Oh yeah, Regex. That's another one. Or Regex. I don't know how to say these things. I've only ever read about it. I haven't actually heard people talk about it. So what is James? So James is trying to rename things and the directory. Yeah, be careful with that recursive stuff. Next thing you know, you've renamed everything on your on your Linux system as test. Believe me, I've done that. Hey, man, just came by and said hi. Well, hello, Wexter. Wexter was one of the fabulous 3D printing gurus on our stream yesterday. And Wexter, I don't think you didn't get a chance to do your chat, did you? Did you get a chance to chat? I get confused with all the usernames, but if not, we're doing it again. I talked to Shane and I said I want to do this on a regular basis. I think we should totally do that. Give everyone a chance to get out there and talk about what they're doing and stuff, because there's some really cool stuff going on. Well, thank you, Wexter. Thank you for coming by. I can't believe Wexter's back online again after that epic chat, and it was late for you too, right? Good, Wexter. Good. When you say Shane, you mean you yelled at Shane? Is that what you said? Wexter was yelling at Shane about the fact he didn't get a chance to do his bit. Maybe you could, if you spent less time mocking and deriding Fred, maybe there would have been more time to actually to do your own thing. But Wexter, we're on whenever. I had so much. I love those streams. I have the best time doing them. So I'm happy to do it again. If it helps to have me there, I want to be there. Typical Croatian thing. We're bullies. Is that what it is? I was going to say, 'cause it's also a British thing, too. The Brits tend to be, oh, Sybil, thank you very much for the subscription. And hello. You don't have to subscribe for us to say hello. We'd say hello even if you didn't subscribe. That's a Croatian thing. I would say it's also a British thing, too, to basically, Jane always says, if I'm nice to someone, it's probably not a good sign. It's better if I'm being rude to them. It generally means I like them enough to be rude to them, so... Oh, Pyroscope redeemed Hydrate. I hate my son for putting this on there. I feel like it's he should just put Dance Monkey Dance on there. We'll go with that. Dark Road. I have 50 data sets. I want to run each as an output file with a name. I want to capture all of those and chuck them in another folder. Aha. Oh, God, that's so much fun, that stuff. What's the system, though, James? What do you... Is it it's some kind of a Linux system or a Unix system or something? We should get some. We'll have to do some. We should do a coding one as well. This is the thing about maybe these chats. We can open these chats up to other stuff too. I mean, if I can start getting some guests on here, and then you're not just looking at me. Do you like our background on this one? I got the background finally on my computer. So, oh my gosh, what are they called? Nerd guy. I always get it wrong. Who created this for me? I actually just put it up, so maybe it's in my recent files, so I can see who actually designed it for me. I named the file after them. Nerdy Times. There you go. Nerdy Times did this for me. And I actually named the file Nerdy Times Ironham TV, just so I'd remember, because I don't want to make sure credit where credit's due. What's James up to? It should be what, right? Baz should add the monkey dance. No, he really shouldn't. In fact, nobody mentioned that to him, please. Dark Rogue sounds fairly straightforward. Oh, see, there's the coding attitude right there. Thank you, Dark Rogue, for showing exactly what it's like. Oh, well, I mean, I suppose if you're having difficulty with that, I'm using terminals, so bash. So I was learning about how to copy bash. If your sudo settings or sudo or whatever it is settings are incorrectly configured, you can copy the bash, which is the shell, and then escalate privileges on it so you can get it to do things for you. And I was learning all that on Pen Tester Lab. And again, I'm sorry. I always sound like I'm pitching stuff. Like I'm not being paid by these people. I expressed an interest in computer security, and Luis at Pentester Labs was kind enough to set me and the Tech Bandits up with courses. But I thought I better go through the course first to make sure that I can at least be able to help my bandits through it. I think it's too advanced for my bandits. In fact, I want to talk to Luis about this because I would really love to do another version. I'd like to do two. I'd like to revoice all of his stuff for him so that because it's amazing. But I think for some people, the French accent that Luis has, I think it's Luis who's doing it, is quite thick. So I think for a lot of Americans, they'll have a problem with it. I understand it because, frankly, we're partially French here in Canada, anyways, eh? But I would love to revoice them for him, and also just because, frankly, I'd love to be the voice of a computer security course. I just think that'd be really cool. And the other thing I wanted to do was just sort of have some slightly more, I don't want to say dumbed down versions. So I don't think it's about making it simpler. I think it's about just trying to make it a little more kid friendly for the kids, because my kids are much younger than I think than the ones he's most usually dealing with. So dummy code, I'm using find, typed D, not empty, exec, echo. Oh, look at this coding going on as we speak. I love it. Oh, I'll be very impressed if James can get his coding sorted out on our chat. I'll feel like a total hero then. Traversal and readiness for files with Mountain View Corp operations. Wow, I don't even know what they're talking about now. Interesting. So Wexter, I have to go, or my wife is going to yell at me. Yeah, family time, important. Wexter, thanks for coming by. Keep bugging Shane. Feel free to bug me. David I. Hewlett at here. I'll put the email in here, and then you can get in touch if you need to. David I. Hewlett at gmail.com. I'm so blind. I'm so blind. I have to actually. Is that it? I think that's it. If this is wrong, I apologize. But Wexter, that is the David I. Hewlett at gmail.com. That should be it. Feel free to email me and remind me, and we'll do something for sure, because I'd love to hear what you're up to, and frankly, just want to do more of those chats because it's just great. It's nice to have something to chat about other than just me, So I think for most people, it'd probably be far more exciting. Yes, you too, Wexter. Love the family. Have fun, and I guess if you're just mean to each other, I guess that's what you do for family time. Croatia, you just yell at each other and kind of stuff. Have a good one. Pyro Up. I wish I was coding RN. I wanted to pick up an old Arduino project, but I can't find any of my boards. Oh my god, that sucks because I've got boards galore. I've got a whole box of them back there. In fact, it even says Arduino on it. I got a ton of them. Someone was saying that the Arduino coding. God, who was it? I've got to get all the names sorted out, but there was one of the guys there yesterday is working on basically like 3D fashion stuff. Like he's printing onto fabric. So he can print like these like beautiful looking, almost chainmail kind of stuff, but each a little original piece, and then creating these kind of tile systems. And I just thought it was amazing. I was saying to him, he's got to start designing his own. He's got to start designing his own printer for this, because it almost feels like it needs its own. The 3D printer needs to be configured differently to allow him to do these just gorgeous design things. I had never thought of printing on fabric, and it just makes a huge difference. I'd love a hat that is in my clan's colors. Well, that'd be cool. People, looks like the Hack 5 rubber ducky. What's this? What's going on? You got one configured? What's this? Pyro, if you pick up again, look into DigiSpark. Amazing little boards. Oh, interesting. I haven't tried those. You like them? Xenos, thank you for the Patreon pitch. It's very nice. My gosh, I think I said thank you in a Burn Alert the other day, but I'll say it again. That Stargate stream was really fun. It was just really fun to watch the show, and even if Baz is a bit salty, we're a bit snappy with each other right now because we've been together quite a bit. I love him to bits, but there's sometimes you find yourself, it's that weird mix of like being on camera and being a parent at the same time, and you sort of want it to be all fun and games, but at the same time, I feel like it's important for him to know, when he starts to go off. When things become a little less appropriate for the world, but at the same time, I also understand it must be just crushing to be like told off by your dad on a stream. So I don't know. We're navigating all of that stuff. He's just a great kid. I just as always, worry about trying to navigate the online world while he's navigate the online world in a situation where there's a certain amount of there's an audience, basically. I mean, a lot of kids when they start out obviously aren't going to they got to build their own audience, and Baz was very aware that he could use mine. But at the same time, I love that he got me into it, because otherwise I wouldn't have I need a keyword. That's right. I need like a safe word, don't I? Good, Pac Mom. Well, Pac Mom, you're raising some good kids there, so I'm assuming that you'd know. I'll take it. From what we've seen, I think you are doing a great job. Oh, thanks, Sybil. It's so hard to know. I mean, it's not even that I worry so much about him as I worry about my own parenting skills, right? Like I love my father very, very much, but I wouldn't raise my son the way he raised me, because it's just a different generation. It's a whole different, it's a different time now, really, right? So, all right, Dark Road, move the files to a new folder, but append the original folder name to the files. Ooh. James has already put Dark Rogue to work. And Dark Rogue, you've already said, well, that shouldn't be hard, so now you have to do it. Boy, you really cornered yourself on that one. I want my Unos back for prototyping first, though. The Unos, are they the little ones? Are they the little Arduinos? I can't remember. I've got the larger boards, and I have a smaller one that I was showing off yesterday, which I just love, which is these little guys. So this is an RC unit, basically. This is a remote control unit, but it runs off.
Stand up and stretch your legs.
Oh, man, Alexa's telling me this. What do you mean stand up and stretch my legs? I am standing, you little jerk. There you go. How's that? So there's a little tiny Arduino board in there, like little tiny. There you go, right there. That's like a little mini one, Nano, I think it might even be called. But this is just a little remote control system for a car. And I was just saying that it'd be kind of fun to put it in some of there are a number of amazing designers on there, and one of them is doing these little action figures and specific scale of action figures. And I was just saying it would be kind of fun to have some of the systems motorized. So it's so cute, says Pyrope. Nanos are the little ones. Yeah, so this is a Nano, I'm guessing. Yes, this is an Arduino Nano. But these are all like knockoffs by a Deeped. Which I gotta say, they've been pretty good, and I think SaneSmart, who do the router, they also do sort of knockoff boards as well, right? These are basically, the idea behind Arduino is that it's open source, so anyone can create them, and the idea is everyone creates them, they get really cheap, and then everyone's got access to a little mini processor that they can use, microprocessor they can use for controlling things. So it's just kind of cool. Looks like a Nano. They're really good as well. I had one running a small sphere robot at one point. I got a couple of spheros going in the back there. I turned everything off because I had everything charging all the time, and I realized the batteries are just going to be screwed. It's I'm used to having like those robots out like every week, playing with the kids, or being played with, or being tossed around, or destroyed by the kids. So they're going to get like dusty and rusty on the shelf there. Oh, and I've been working on the Stargate, our little Stargate, the rotating Stargate. So I'm just building a little platform for it to sit in, so I've got the servo, and I think I'm going to control it with the same board that I used. It's the same board that I used to light up the Stargate. It's this little Easy Robot board, or Easy Board, whatever they're calling themselves. There we go. And that's just this little baby here. So it's a little tiny Easy Robot board. And the idea there is it's a very simple system to use. I mean, I'm sure there's scratch programming and stuff that I'm sure you could get the Arduino to do as well. I just happen to have these, so I thought, why not use it? Although I did rip off the speaker by accident, and I don't know if I've got enough cable to solder it back on again, but we'll see. Anyways, the idea is that this can be controlled wirelessly, so I'd have controller over it. I plug in the servo, so it's a 360 servo, so it can go all the way around, control specifically where you want it to be. I screwed on the little 3D printed gear that sits in there, and then it would just rotate it like that. So basically, you're controlling the Stargate with that. So you can have it spin, you can have it stop, you can have it light up. This is a beautiful design by, God, I can't remember who it was, Corinth something or another. It's on Thingiverse, I'll look it up. But I don't need the whole little model. I just want to be able to have enough of it in frame that you'll see it actually rotating and maybe lighting up, depending on. Right now, I just want to get it. Once I get it rotating, then I'll figure out the lighting up. But these little boards are just great at controlling motors, and it's a system I'm very familiar with because of Easy Robots, the robots in the back there. So that's what I'll be playing with, I think. And also it's a really great community. So you're talking about a friendly community. You can post all sorts of stuff. Like I got a lot of help when I was doing the fart controlled robot for this little TV thing that I got asked to work on, which was just really fun. So you just go on I went on the forum, I asked the questions, and then when I found out how to do stuff, I would post it there, and it's just great community. DJ Shores is the guy who set that up, and it's just amazing. I mean, is it perfect yet? No, it's still very early days for these robots, but there's a lot of promise there. Like, just the systems he's working on is just extraordinary. He's got something now where you can actually, I think, go on live and actually move the robots yourselves. Like, it's like a remote control via the internet, where you can you're basically going into his offices and having his robots run around. It's just kind of neat. Wait, what's going on in front of the camera like the other one? What's that? Even Star. Yes. So what would go in front of the camera would be, let me see if I do this without, I'm scared of like it falling apart because it's a little flimsy. But the idea being is, well, it'd be the other way around. It'd be the other way around so it can rotate. If I wanted to show you that. So you got the Stargate on one side, that needs to be sort of painted and stuff. But the idea would be if you can get it in the right place, far enough away, and potentially, so there's such a lag. So the idea would be try to get it in the right place where it could sort of fill up enough of the screen that you would be able to see it actually rotating. Would be ideal, right? So that would be the goal. So I can get that to go. So I just want it in a place that he can do that, and obviously preferably not with me having to hold it while it happens. So I've got to come up with a whole system, basically like a ring light almost. In fact, you could add a ring light to it, and then I'd look beautiful as well as cool. So there you go. That's what I'm working on there. It's, I for a while there I was feeling very, very guilty because I thought I should be printing PPE stuff. But the reality is I think by the sound of it, it looks like that's taken care of here. At least certainly for the Michael Garron Hospital, which is sort of local to us. So I'm hoping I'm not wasting my printing time by doing that. So, and I also, it's fun. The kids like to see what's going on with that as well. So mount the camera to it. Exactly, Garmer. That's what I want to do. Basically, I want to create a little tripod specifically for the Stargate camera. So, in fact, maybe I can even add like a nice little camera into the. If I add a nice little camera into the Easy Robot, because you can do that. There is a camera. You can access this with a camera as well. So maybe there's a way to incorporate it all into one and have a Stargate webcam, which would be very cool. Of course, I could also just bring in the green screen and put it behind me. I suppose that could possibly be easier, but that wouldn't be nearly as much fun, would it? Okay, I found this. I always check with someone built it, making the algorithm. Yeah, Dark Rogue. That's so true with programming. It always comes down to that. Like find the cut and paste code. That's the way to do it. Is the new gate to scale with the Rodney figure? No, that's a good question. No, nowhere near. If I built it for that, it'd have to be like, well, how many heads high? It would have to be at least 2, right? 2, 3? No, it would have to be like almost 3 times as big, I think, to do that. I'm very tall, Get my in-action figure to walk through it, right? Okay, Papa. Yeah, University for all you Canadians. I go to school in Massachusetts, but my family lives in Florida. We had less than a week to get off campus. Wow. Well, so it's funny. So Pyro, we have to. There's like staggered times for us to go in and pick up the stuff from Baz's school because all of his stuff is still there, like as if he was still at school. So, yeah. So we got to do that. I'm online, but friends had kids with stuff still on campus. Yeah. There's still a bunch of stuff we got to go pick up. So, okay, Michael. David! Is that trying to get my attention or is that just a hello? David! Hello! Okay, Michael! Did you get my message? Everyone keeps asking me that. I don't know what message. Hey, Bill Plays Games. Thank you very much for the subscription. And welcome. Which message, K. Michael? Which message? If it's not personal, then just put it up here. I get everyone's got my attention. You can. That's the whole point of this. Yeah, my sister has that in a few days. Yes, I'm sure. Sarah and Seven gets to pick up times. Sarah and Campus has picked up times for his son's school this week. Yeah, that's basically what we have to do as well. Because it's like he's got his locker. They had this whole thing about like how to organize your locker, and they organized it all, and then they never went back. So hopefully it won't be too hard to find. Yes, what is Pac Mom studying? Lots of interesting things. Our kids are boarders, so some of them had a day because they booked flights home so fast. Yeah, I'm sure. Wow. So that's interesting. One of my sisters, not Stargate sister, but another sister's kid is in like around Salt Lake City. I think is at a boarding school out there. And then he won't be going home till they open the borders again, I'm sure. Masters in Dental Hygiene. That's right, Pac Mom. That's what Pac Mom's working on. Bill Plays Games. Thank you. Love your work in Stargate Atlantis. Oh, thank you very much, Bill. That's Bill Plays Games. Very kind of you. Yes. You're setting up a newsletter, K. Michael. Ooh, that's cool. What about? What's the newsletter about? What else we got? Phones with Stupid Friends' daughter was told they had 1 hour to pull as much as she could. Yeah, it is a bit like this. Like it's almost like an earthquake or a fire, isn't it? It's just like go. Squirrel Nutty says, "Is it ZPM or ZPM?" Is it really a question? ZPM? Squirrel Nutty? It's ZPM because that's how McKay says it. His River Song says, we didn't have a single thing to need to pick up because the lockers at my kids' middle school are so uselessly narrow, my kids never bother to use them. Never thought I'd consider that a good thing. Yeah, no kidding, right? Stargate Sister. Very droll. Stargate Sister. Let me see. There you go. Huge fan, sir. Thank you very much. Haji. I'm very good at butchering names, but welcome. And thank you very much. What's the best way to get your autograph? God, these days, I don't know. I mean, one of the things I made a conscious effort at one point. I was trying to respond to every single piece of mail that I got. And my father-in-law, when he was still alive, used to go through and organize them all for me, and we'd send them off. And but it became such a huge. It was terrible, darling. There's so many people, but it just became such a huge amount of time and work and cost. And I was just doing it myself. That I made sort of a concerted effort to say, okay, I am moving online, and I'm going to talk this way. I can talk this way. I can. Everyone gets a little personal. Everyone gets their personal time, and so the time is. I feel the time is probably better spent doing this than it is trying to answer to individual, mailings and things. But that said, I do try to get back to people when I can. Autograph wise, I should probably set something up on here for that, shouldn't I? Digital signatures, that's not a problem. I can send you that. I can sign something and send it to you digitally. But actual hard copy stuff, once I start getting into mailing out autographs, I just feel like it would be a huge. It's like it's a business unto itself, really. Well, maybe it is a business. Maybe that is like I don't know. I mean, I feel weird charging for that stuff, but like I totally understand the Cameo thing. I totally understand that. And especially now when people need to earn a living, that's obviously going to be like a lifesaver for a lot of people. But I just feel weird about it because people text me and email me and or comment and stuff, and if I can, I'll send a little video or whatever. Like I did a couple in like last week. I think I did one for an anniversary and one for a birthday for a brother of theirs or something. So it's question: do you think that autographs will become less popular in the coming years? I think there's going to be even more. I think they're going to become even more valuable to some extent because there is the ability now. I mean, 3D printing being a perfect example. There's an ability to almost build anything you want yourself. So it's that the idea of being able to have something that's a one-off, something that's like personally signed or handcrafted or whatever the something of a limited edition source of things that isn't false, if that makes sense. Because you can sort of go, oh, they're limited edition cards until you re-release them or whatever. But the idea that I think people want things that are that there's only one of, you know what I mean? Like one of my most prized possessions, which actually isn't mine, which is Jane's, is this silly thing, which is just a bunch of ductwork, basically. But it was the centerpiece when they launched SG1 on TV for the first time. And some enterprising marketing person thought it would be cool to put these in the center of the tables and have a light shining out of each table. And they literally just cut the things out. This is before they could do any of this with printing. They cut all these out or had stickers created of them, and then they put them on the table. And Jane, before I even knew her, this is long before I'd ever met Jane, she was working in TV and she was at this event. I think she knew Chris Judge. I think Chris Judge was the guy who was the connection there. And my wife, being my wife, a couple of drinks and she tends to walk off with the centerpieces of tables. So especially at these events, if she walked off with this, I don't think anyone cared. I mean, they were probably just chucked. But this is, I don't know how many of these exist, if any other of these exist. Like this is literally from the original SG1 TV launch party, and it's certainly beginning to look it. But like that to me is like that's like a movie prop. But the problem is, even with movie props now, you can 3D print and or foam form or whatever your own version of these things. So the idea of getting something that's specifically from a show, I think things like autographs and stuff, or being able to autograph something is going to become much more sort of valuable to people because there's that need to have something unique. In a world where you can create anything, suddenly the unique becomes far more sort of, I guess, valuable or of interest to people, I think. So that's my really long answer to that. My God, I'm going to miss so many of these chats things. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me scroll up for a second. Everybody hold your thoughts for a second while I go back. Tech Bandits newsletter. Oh, what's going on? Okay, yes, that's right. I'm so easily distracted. Huge fan. What's the best way to get your autograph? Right, that's where we started on that one. Yeah, Hajj, I've got to figure something out about that. Would people have any interest in digital versions of it? Like, can I send you digital copies? Just because then there's no There's no mail, especially now. I mean, I'm a germaphobe at the best of times. The idea of going to the post office on a regular basis to deliver letters just seems kind of worrying to me somehow. But maybe there's something I can figure out. For that, because I'd happy to. Like I do. Like I always thought it was really weird to charge for autographs, because I was like, if you came up to me in a restaurant, well, now if you came up to me in a restaurant, I'd scream and run away. But if you came up to me in the restaurant and asked me for an autograph, I'd give it to you. Like I always say to people, like, don't be like, if you see me, don't be shy. Say hi. Like I love it. You're kidding? And my kid loves it. He's like, yeah, look at that. It's just Stargate. So I never. I mean, maybe not in the bathroom. The bathroom could be a weird place. Maybe wait till I'm at the sink. That can be a maybe better thing. But but definitely say hi. Hi, I'm in that area of season 2 where every planet you visit, you drool about a possible ZPM. Yeah, it's so true. Well, welcome to Atlantis. That's all McKay really did, was drool over ZPMs. It's so true. Degrasse, David. Just a nice name. Who give it to you, your mom or your dad? I am named after my grandfather. My grandfather was David Hewlett as well, and it was very confusing. But I'm very, very proud to be named after him. He was an amazing, amazing man who fought in the Second World War and survived not one but two, the sinking of 2 vessels. One was a ship that he was on, and basically. Most of the crew were killed in the attack, and he was rescued by a submarine, and a submarine that was then sunk, and he was one of the few who survived that. So he got one of the highest awards you can get out of England for whatever he did, and he would never speak about it, and he absolutely refused to talk about it. Not in an angry way, just he had no interest in revisiting that at all. So to this day, he took it with him to his grave. Lovely, lovely man, David Hewlett. I'm very, very honored to be named after him, and he is absolutely just instrumental in making me the nerd that I am. He was so wonderful about pursuing every interest that I had. He pursued. He would go off and I was doing stamp collecting, and he would go to the post office and come back with these massive amounts of stamps that he'd be saving up all year, so that when I showed up in the summer, I'd have all these stamps that we'd do the organizing of the stamps. And he taught me about how you use the little, he didn't do any of these things himself. He started them entirely to play with me doing them. And it was just, we did electronics. Oh my God, we got into electronics, and that was it. I remember coming over one day and working on a computer thing, and he was just like, wow, I can't get my head around this. Like, I'd sort of gone so far beyond the little Ladybird books that we were doing together, and he was just a lovely, lovely man. He also, I remember he couldn't understand the acting, couldn't understand it at all. Didn't understand why I didn't work waiting for jobs. He's like, well, you just go get a job. I said, well, no, I'm trying to get a job. That's what's, yeah, but just go get a job. Like, what are you waiting for? And so he couldn't understand the acting thing. And then when I did get an acting job, he said, like, I know I should be happy, but it feels like you're doing something wrong, because he couldn't get over how much actors got paid for what little work they did. So he's just, hey, David, Grandpa, love you to bits. You're the best. Grandma, lovely. Lived out in Kent. I'm getting all verklempt. Oh my God, I've been home too long by myself. All right. Like authors are almost mass producing signed editions to maybe the book world is slightly different. Interesting. Yeah. Look, I love signed editions of books. And I keep, like, the only books that I now collect basically are, for the most part, are just graphic novels. That's the only ones I feel that I can't get by digitally. I need the book for graphic novels. But any other books, honestly, I get given some hard copies, and sometimes I read them, but mostly I'll just go, oh, that's a cool looking book, and then I go on Kindle and get it. So, all right, what else we got here? You and Jane were meant to be. Very true. Very, very true. Poor Jane. I remember Jason Momoa asking me how on earth I ended up with someone as amazing as Jane, and I told him it was all about trickery and deceit. What do we got? You got at the end. Think of the Hawkeye. You got it at the end. Hawkeye with a J. Hajay. Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you for your wonderful acting in SG Atlantis. Would you like to play something like that? I would. I love playing those. What a great role. I really feel like I totally scored on that. Like I got the best role in the whole show, frankly. I felt sorry for everyone else because they weren't McKay. Also, good story behind it. What do we got? Very cool. For others that aren't in tech bandits. K. Michael. So a newsletter for others that aren't in tech bandits. What do you mean by that? You mean a newsletter that related to this kind of stuff? What would it take for you to set up a newsletter? That way you can write up a quick update and get it out to the subscribers. Yeah, I mean, believe me, I don't even, the tech bandits, I've sort of basically stopped doing the newsletter for them because every time I email them to organize a meeting, I give them a little update as to what's going on with the tech bandit stuff. I wondered about going video with it, like just doing a video posting that just gave a little update of what's going on. Or I suppose you could do, like, I could make these, I could go live with these and then talk to people about what's going on that way. I mean, that's a thought. Speaking of which, I don't know if D-Stat's here, but thank you, D-Stat. Once again, D-Stat's come through with a really very generous Tech Bandits patron donation, and it's just I marvel at the kindness of all of you for that matter, but D-Stat's just being absolutely amazing about helping out with this, and he's also offered to help out with Soliloquio. I should tell you about Soliloquio. Have I talked about that at all? No. Before I do that, let me go through. Let me finish the chat. Make sure I've answered everyone's questions. Hello all, Pratios Gaming. See, there you go. I finally got to Pratios. Pratios Gaming. You and Jamin to be where are we at here? Good story behind it. I really love having autographs for my favorite. So this is a River Song. It says, love having autographs for my favorite actors that I've met, either on a photo or photos or props, etc. I know a lot of people display them on walls, but I have most of mine in a file awaiting an album to be put into. Yeah, no, that's welcome to my world. The to be done folder. I love the memory that goes with each one. I'd be happy with a little model of the personal shield from Atlantis. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Again, you can build these things. Oh, Ivan, thank you so much for the subscription. You're a good friend, Arthur. Indeed, you're a good friend, Ivan. Bachelor Athletic, what do we got? Okay, so Bertley, I only have signed versions of Brandon Sanderson's books, but I've never actually met him. I just go through his home airport often, and he signs books while he's there. That's great. That's very good. What kind of books does Brandon write? Fumbles Book Stupid's always too shy to ask for autographs. See, but don't be. I guess I say that because some people don't. I know there's a lot of people who don't like being asked. But I honestly, when it comes to me, I won't speak for everybody because I can't. But for me, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Please do. Just ask. I pick up random stuff from places all the time. I'm a serial sign thief. Pyro. We'll be reporting the police. We'll be reporting after the police right now. James Gurney vanished for a second, probably because he's coding away frantically. He's probably at work right now. Vamptonius, for me, an autograph is more about the circumstances of how it was got. Like your table centerpiece. If I wanted an autograph, it would have to be a memento of a happening rather than just a few microns of ink. Exactly. And that's it. I mean, that's the whole convention thing, which I'm really struggling with now, is because we're not going to, I don't see the convention thing happening this year for us, for Canada anyways, or getting out of Canada for that. And then even then, I worry about them as like a vector for disease, because now that we've established that we are fully susceptible, especially North America, by the looks of it, to pandemic pandemics like this, I really worry about how that's going to work. I know it's not the same to be on a video chat with someone, but at the same time, I think we may have to go that route with a lot of stuff as well. So if you like prop stuff, look at Replica Prop from the forum known as the RPF. Is that on Reddit? Speaking of Reddit, I was going to post to Reddit and say that I was doing this. I forgot to do that. If anyone's on Reddit and has time, let people know, because I want people to have an opportunity to chat if they want to. You could digitally sign just pictures. It'd be really cool to have a PC wallpaper of Atlantis with your signature or something. Ooh. You could have an animated one where you could actually see me doing my terrible signature. Sybil, it's got to go. Break's over. Look, have a wonderful day, Sybil. Thank you so much for coming by. Appreciated it much. Even Star, social distancing, indeed. River Song, that's where I'm at. Also back to Fumbles Book Stupid. Yes, I have a friend left on campus We had about 300 students because we have a bunch of international students from China. And they couldn't get out. Is that the idea? I like getting a photo with the actor and getting that signed. Yeah, no, and I think I like that too because I get to meet everybody. I get to say hi. But I'm worried now that like that means that every single person I say hi to, we wouldn't be able to do handshakes anymore. We wouldn't be able to do hugs anymore. We wouldn't be able to do kisses. Thank God. I was a germaphobe, anyways. People kissing me is just even just like putting an arm over the shoulder now is gonna. It's just things are gonna be different. Still here, just trying different things. I thought that was the case. James is in coding mode. James is going full hacker mode. David Tennant talked about his most uncomfortable autograph request. It was in the showers at the gym. Yeah, I've definitely had some. I've one of the reasons why I don't like gyms is exactly that. Is I found myself like, literally stepping out of the shower and going to the locker, and then literally someone saying like, "Hey, you the guy from?" And you're like, I'm the naked guy from Stargate right now. So can we maybe do this another time? And then there was another. I used to swim at a public pool, and it got to the point where I had this guy who would just swim the lengths with me, and then at the end, at each end, he would like ask you a question, and of course, you come out of the water, you're like, sorry, what? And over and over again, I was like, driving me crazy. So I actually stopped going because I was like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't want to be rude, but at the same time, it's like, dude, I'm literally underwater. Anyways, Ask Ubuntu has a thread titled "Recursively Add Directory Names." Ooh, very good. See, Dark Rogue. That's the thing, Dark Rogue. It's not even so much about knowing how to do things; it's just knowing where to ask about it. Pac-Man's grandfather didn't want to share much of what he did in World War II. What little he shared obviously was difficult for him to share. Exactly. I think that's, I can't imagine. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine what they went through. I don't. I so appreciate what they did, but I just it's another world to me. Like I really, really, really hope we can get to the point where we don't have to send people into this stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not a big fan of robots killing people, but at the same time, I feel like if we can just stick to cyber warfare instead of actually murdering people, that would be great. Or I mean, again, I've used to say this sort of, and I understand the irony of this, but the idea that we should stop pretending that we don't assassinate people, and then just assassinate people as opposed to taking it out on an entire country. I feel like there's much more technologically advanced ways of conducting warfare now that don't involve putting so many lives in danger. I worry that it worries me that the world is split up so much now. I feel like, I thought it was all going to be coming together with the internet and with space travel and all this kind of, I thought we were all going to, and then COVID, I thought we were all going to come together and, not kumbaya, but at least get some stuff done, global warming, all this kind of stuff. But I don't know. It feels like it split us up even more. Oh my God! Don't want to go down the dark. I don't want to go down the dark hole. I really don't understand why on Earth people show up outside of celebrities' houses or in bathrooms to interrupt meals for an autograph. Any decent person would appropriately embarrassed by such a thing. There's a time and a place to ask. Yeah, Riversong. I think there is definitely a time and a place to ask, and obviously, I and I'm sure everyone else would say, use your discretion, but I think you do sometimes have to step in. You do. There's a certain look. I have not said hello to people because I was embarrassed. I absolutely, I am with you. I'm one of you on this stuff. I've met numerous celebrities and not asked for an autograph or not voiced my excitement about meeting them because I wanted to, because I thought it would be weird for them or whatever. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I regret it, and sometimes I'm glad I didn't because I've seen the response when people actually did. So you never know. But for me, I'll just, as a blanket statement, say hi. Just not in bathrooms, not in showers, not in the pool while I'm doing. I mean, use your brains. That's all. Just be smart. All right. That must be tough. I saw an interview with someone from Wuhan, and they worried how they'd be perceived. Yeah. I mean, I think it's caused a lot of friction, I think. And I think the idea of splitting, the idea that a virus is anyone but humans' fault. I don't, I mean, I don't know how we blame specific people on a virus. I mean, it's like, we don't, do we label the cold as something, the common cold as a specific area or region? No, I feel like, we're lucky it didn't happen, didn't start in North America, but maybe it did. Who knows? I don't know. There's so much odd and conflicting views on this. James, haven't got Pearl installed. So long story, why not? I'll keep bashing away. Yes, bashing and bashing. Got it. It won't let me paste links. Why not? Hey, yeah, why can't we post links in the chat anymore? We used to be able to do that. Maybe someone abused that right. I just got a VHS sign from the last con I went to. Ooh, VHS. Oh man, they're gonna be. Talking about collectibles. VHS is gonna be valuable soon because that was anything that was worth nothing that people just threw out or that couldn't give away, like VHS tapes. They're gonna be worth something. I think some of the Disney ones, some of the original Disney ones, are worth like a fortune. McKay does show up on SGU as well. Yes, he does. I'm missing the techlets because I liked the links to interesting science stories. Sorry, Polynomial. All right, I'll get on that. Torval Euros is raiding with a party of 142. Oh my gosh, Torval, how did I miss that? I'm so sorry. I'm so behind on the stream. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, what were you guys doing? What were you all doing? What are 142 of you doing? Soliloquio. I'll get to that in a second. Welcome Raiders. Indeed, welcome Raiders. I'm so sorry. I'm so far behind on my stream here that I completely missed that. Woot woot raid. Oh, look at this. Everyone's so excited. Oh, good. Everyone's excited for me. I didn't know that McKay is a streamer. Damn right. Well, McKay's son is a streamer, and I've got the bug. I have to do it now. I love doing it now. It's like crazy. Torvald, were you playing Eve? Is that what you're doing? Torvald, you were playing Eve? I tried Eve. I was so excited about Eve. I thought, this is it. This is my world. And then I got motion sickness. I'm the biggest again, it's a curse. It's like a geek cursed to have motion sickness and not be able to play first person shooters, not be able to play like virtual reality stuff. Cause I'm a basket case. I can play for maybe a minute or two, and then it's just like I gotta lie down or throw up or both. I mean, it's just not pretty. But thank you for coming by. That's fantastic. Brandon writes steampunk, doesn't he? Ooh, cool. Steampunk. I love steampunk. What else we got? Can we get David to try Eve? Yes, we'll see. He's catching up on past, so he might be a bit of notice the raid. Thank you, Bashful. Thank you. As you can see, taking me a while. Given that you always seem to get mega numbers on the watch parties, have you ever considered sacrificing the other streams for a month or so and just do watch parties so you can get Twitch partner and you get a larger percentage of the subs and so on? That's interesting, Johnny. I mean, look, I love the numbers. I love it when there's a lot of people watching because I guess that means there's a lot of people who are interested. And I'm careful. I'm trying to be careful not to be too focused on that because for one thing, I think it's important for my son to know that there's work to be done. Like that we've got to build this properly, and the watch parties, originally the watch parties were literally just to say thank you to Patreons and to subscribers and stuff. So yeah, look, I love the numbers. I think obviously you want more people to be around so that you've got more people to interact with. But I also worry about what's going to happen. What happens when the stream is like, it's already hard for me to keep track of. How do people do this? I guess, do they have moderators or people who could just grab questions and stuff? But even then it's another level of abstraction. It's another gatekeeper between, and the whole point of this is to be able to say hi to people, right? So, but no, Johnny, look, there's a lot of things. I know DStat bugs me about this all the time, that I should be doing more things to promote the channel and to market the channel, all that kind of stuff. And I guess there's a part of me that doesn't want it to be, I just don't want it to be too much of a business. I don't want to always be asking people for things. I'd rather be, I mean, look, not to say I don't love things. I love things. I never, I love all that stuff. I just don't want to be asking for stuff all the time and asking for audiences and working purely towards audience. I think it's important to be doing what you want to do. I think the most important thing probably is to be doing the things you want to do, the way you want to do them for yourself, and then the audience can find whether that's of any use to them or not, as opposed to trying to, I don't want to like do like a full like Stargate rewatch thing, and then I'm supposed to be a Stargate rewatch channel. I just like, I love doing the rewatches, but I do them every 2 weeks, so they're spread out, so that it's not a chore for the kid as well. I don't want it to feel like a chore for the kid. And like with the conventions, like there are some conventions where I stopped attending conventions for a while because it was starting to feel like a business, and I don't like that. I've seen what that does to people, and there are people who do a lot of these conventions who they're not programmed for this. They're just designed, they're doing it just to earn a living, which again, I totally understand. I'm not condemning that in any way, shape, or form. It's like fantastic. If that's needed, then I'm sure I will do that. But I'm like desperate to be for it to be real, if that makes sense. Like I'm desperate for it to be. I don't want this to become an acting exercise. I don't want this to become trying to fake excitement. There are some days I'm going to be low. I guarantee you there's going to be days I'm a little low today. And there are some days I'm going to be completely wired out of my head. And maybe that'll be later when the coffee kicks in. But I just want it to be, I want to feel comfortable with this. I don't want to feel like it's work. And I think, not to say I'm adverse to doing some work. I just don't want it to be all about work. So yeah, but I take a good note. One of the things we are trying to do is be much more regular in our streams. So Baz has tried to schedule, and then of course I screw it up, Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays for him to be able to game with me. I've added Tuesday chats because I just think it's this way. There's no gaming getting in the way, and I'm not stepping on Baz's toes. It's funny. I was getting grumpy because I was worried about missing stuff here and then the gaming at the same time. And I'm ADHD at the best of times. It's hard when there's all that stuff going on. So what else we got? Hey, Mr. Carl Sink, just wanted to say hi. Cube. Oh wow, blast from the past. There is no way out of here. Oh, Cube, great movie, fantastic movie. That is. Thank you for reminding me of that one. Whose birthday is it today? Pixie Rose. Happy birthday to Pixie Rose. Happy birthday to Pixie Rose. Happy birthday, dear Pixie Rose. Happy birthday to you. Happy Corona birthday to you, Pixie Rose. Are you huddled up at home enjoying your time? I gotta say, as a nerd, there's nothing better than a lockdown for a birthday because it means nobody can throw stupid parties for you. You don't have to go out at all. You just get to be king for the day and watch all the movies you want. I hope that's working out well for you. All right, what else we got in here? Happy birthday. Everyone's happy birthday to Pixie Rose. Pixie Rose is great. Pixie Rose, by the way, is responsible for doing the completely illegal streaming of Stargate episodes while I do my live stream so that people can actually watch it along with us, which is just fantastic. So huge happy birthdays to Pixie Rose. And Pixie Rose, are you streaming? Do you stream as well? Should people be subscribing to you as well? Favorite thread, a thread about Nika Mags. What's that? What? My bank account may enjoy a small break from conventions, so maybe that's a silver lining. Yeah, no kidding, River Song. Pixie Rose, links won't work. Yeah, what is with the links? Why is that not working? Is that, I'll have to talk to Jack about that or Baz to see something's happened. I wish we got that Stargate Atlantis movie. Yeah, no kidding. We thought it was happening. Like I did not even say goodbye to people because we just assumed we were gonna be back in like a few months' time to make the movie that they were talking about. It just never happened. So damn it. All right, Liz Sheridan, Seinfeld's mom, said you didn't get into acting if you don't want fans to approach you everywhere. She still gets approached on the street, and people think that she's his real mom. This is the thing. I don't understand. Look, I understand being antisocial. I'm antisocial, but I understand being antisocial as an actor. I'm an actor, so I put myself out there. I got into this to be famous. I mean, that was the original reason. Is I wanted to be James Dean. I ended up being, like Phil Collins, but. But the idea being is, I got into it because I loved people coming up and saying hi and the idea of like cameras and paparazzi and signing things. And I just, that just seems really cool. And I'm sure I would hate it now. Absolutely. I don't think if I started again now at my age with my opinion on stuff, I'm not sure I would become an actor because I don't think I don't have the same desires. There's that great thing about, I remember I used to read all about dark magic, black magic, and all these sort of things. And one of the things he used to say was like that, once you learned how to do what you needed to do, you wouldn't do it because you had learned enough. Like the idea that, you would, a friend of mine and I we delved into this whole reading all this stuff about black magic and stuff. And back sort of in my, well, again, like anything, I think I have this sort of a contagious curiosity, as I call it, where I all over the place with this stuff. But one of these things I used to love reading about all people's beliefs in magic and different magical systems. And I wondered if maybe there was some science in there that I was missing out on or whatever. So I used to read lots of that stuff. Aleister Crowley. Oh my God. I got so into Aleister Crowley for a while there. It was just like ridiculous. But I'll tell you a story about that later, actually, because it was an interesting time in my life with that, where I did realize something that was kind of neat about it. All right, I think I disagree with that. Acting is a job, and not everyone wants to be constantly acknowledged just for doing their job. The public tends to forget that there are people and not just icons. Bertley, I understand. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Here's my issue with that is I feel like, but it's a job in the public eye. It's like if you want to be a politician, then your job is to be around people and talk to people and stuff. Yes, I think there's a time and a place that you can be. I think there's a time and a place where you can be approached for stuff, but at the same time, I do feel like you've brought it on yourself to some extent. I don't think people should be surprised that people are hounding them for autographs and stuff. If you've made the leap, it's not like you don't know what you're getting into now. You know what I mean? If you truly want to be antisocial, you don't become an actor. Like that's just not what you do. My friend has a great term for it for me where they say, sorry, that's that egg salad sandwich coming back. Plus I got a little bit of she put some salad in it. I got a little piece of salad in there I can't get rid of. He said he's described me as an extrovert hermit. So basically I love being at home when I'm at home, but once I get out, it's like woohoo, like it's I never want to, but once I get out there, I'm more than happy to talk to people. So, I'm like an hour behind on chat. Bless him. Thank you, Cal. It's so true. Love the hat, David. Isn't it nice? Jack, how the heck are you? I feel like we haven't talked for ages. And actually, Jack's the perfect person to ask. Jack, why can't people post links anymore in here? Is the Zelenka bot? Is it causing Zelenka? Is Zelenka screwing up or what's going on? I'm an hour behind in the chat. Yes, very true. Lady Shelley says, I'm a redhead, so I'd be bright red and probably stutter the whole time. You know what? I blush. I always blushed. I've always blushed ever since I was a kid. I remember standing on the subway and it didn't matter who it was. If I met someone's eyes on the subway, even for a second, I would blush. And I still, to this day, same thing happens. So I don't be embarrassed by that at all. Because the fact of the matter is, I don't think people care. Honestly, and if they do, what does it matter? One of the things I wish I could instill in my son, something that I could never do as someone when I was growing up, was like, who cares what other people think? Like, I mean, within reason. I mean, care for other people, but don't have them dictate what you should be like or what you should be doing. And I mean, and the blushing thing, it's a biological. You have no control over it. So what do you got to be embarrassed about? Like, just come blush, say hi. Yeah. All right, what do we got? Warwick Davies with his family having dinner at a hotel once, but I didn't bother him because I didn't feel like it's right. Yeah, look, that's possible. I think with the family, sometimes it can be weird for people. But there's always a nice way of doing it. Or you can, especially at a restaurant, you can always ask a waiter to send over a napkin with something on it or something. I mean, there's always ways around it. But for the most part, for me, I don't, I'm awful. Jane gets mad at me because I'll sit down at someone else's table and start talking to them about stuff once we've met. She's like, we're trying to have dinner. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, we should do that.
Last Zoom meeting.
What? Oh, I guess Jane's on this Alexa too. She's got a meeting starting, I'm guessing, at 2:00. All right, so we keep adding more quickly than he can get through. It's so true. It'll probably be a while after you said it when you read this, but if it's bad for a celebrity to say hi to another celebrity, I don't know how I'd go outside the stream. That's so true. That's so true. I haven't really helped, have I? Like, it just depends. I mean, we're all human too, right? I mean, I'm probably may even be more human than many of you in my insecurities and my I am a geek. Like, I was a nerd. I'm not even a geek. I wish I was a geek. Geeks are cool. I'm like a nerd. My social skills sucked to the point where I had to become an actor in order just to be good at speaking to people without stuttering and being an idiot about things. I mean, there's definitely a facade there's definitely a face by the door, in a jar by the door when I go out, for sure. Because everyone has that, I think. I mean, people say, how do you act? It's like, well, how do you live without it? I mean, everyone acts. All right. Check the bot channel settings. Thank you, Wolves Den. I shall do that. I have no idea how. Sarah Kevin Star says, I still have a lot of those. A lot of those what? I'm not going back. I can't go back. If I go back, I'll never go forward. Excellent. I have a VHS player and tapes. Well, there you go. Perfect. It's probably worth a fortune. The bolt setting must have changed in the bot settings must have changed in the last week. Maybe it has. Paperclips is true. I have so much anxiety and being a deer in headlights with celebs, but so many people will take more liberties than they should. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. And also, part of the problem is that everyone has different rules, right? Like, Jane always jokes about me having like this very clear list of rules for myself that I don't share with anybody else. You have sinned against my rule number 58. But the only issue is that I haven't told anybody what those various rules are. So it's difficult. I think the reality is, when it comes to celebrities and stuff, I think you just have to do what feels right and then not regret it. You know, I've had a couple of people, like, if you feel too embarrassed to say hi, then don't say hi. Then, I mean, what a lot of people do is they'll end up like tweeting me after and saying like, hey, I saw you at so-and-so. And I'll say, oh, you should have said hi or whatever. I mean, so do what you're comfortable with, really. I mean, don't kick yourself for not saying something. But at the same time, if you feel like that's what you want, then try it. So big deal. They yell at you, you got an even better story out of it. All right. Wow, he really is behind. I know, it's so true. All right, David Blue. You and David Blue should do a watch party. I know, we should totally do that for SGU. Well, you know what? If he ever does an SGU watch party of our episode, we should do that together for sure. Oops, I said the Iron Ham instead of Tech Bandits for some reason. Yes, it gets confusing, doesn't it? Holy shit, I got sent your stream. BB Sane managed to get me to swear. Good work. No ideas where I got sent it. And when I realized who you were, I was like, ooh. And I'm not going to say that because my son will possibly watch this. But, well, welcome, BB Sane. And you and your colorful language are welcome here. So you what am 8-bit Slavic says, I am an Eve player too. I'm a wormholer. All right. Do I spy a 3D printer? Yes, James Adored. Yes. Wait a second. No, you don't. Actually, you don't. You spy, that is a CNC router. That is the amazing folks at SaneSmart sent me that to try out with the kids. Man, the kids are, they're somewhat excited about this. There is also a 3D printer. Can I do this? See if I can do this without hanging up on everybody. Hanging up. Boy, am I old. Let's go over here. A little higher. That. Hello, Arm. Where are you, Arm? The lag is so bad. That is the Prusa printer. That is the 3D printer that I have. And I have, believe it or not, thanks to Shane and Mika, and Prusa, I've got a new Prusa coming. The new Prusa with the multi-filament. So I will have multiple colors able to print. And my wife will never see me again, basically. All right, where are we at now? Is it okay if I keep doing this, or should I just zip to the end? I don't want to miss out on everybody, but I'm literally halfway through. David, in the stream one day, I was reminded that oldest used to get car sick, motion sickness. We got him the acupressure bracelet he used to wear in the car. No, not expensive, but maybe this could. I can try it. I mean, I definitely have tried most things at this point. Most roller coasters are fine because they're open air. It's something about the open air is fine. Like motorcycles, I never got motion sickness on a motorcycle. I used to drive motorcycles all the time. OBS should have a thing that your stream events as well as your mod view for the channel itself. Even if you're behind on your chat, you can still see the events. Oh. Oh yeah, I think I might have hidden that behind my fancy new Iron Ham TV thing, my nerdyverse or whatever I called it. What did I call it? It's the Nerdy Times, my Nerdy Times Atlantis, because Nerdy Times designed it for us. All right, where are we at? A second Wolves Den. It would be really good to have if you could have an event list on, and that way you can face cam to right, and you can face your cam too. My cam's right there. All right, merch says Xenos. Fumbles are stupid says the man surrounded by things. Yeah. The trick is to have someone in the room monitoring the chat and reading out stuff based on whatever criteria. Yeah, that person is my son who's at school. So everyone can see who last donated, etc. I see. Yes, yes, yes. And you have lots of things you like to do. It's crazy. Woo, what the hell? Holy Marixo YT. What? No, is that fake again? Is that fake thing? Someone didn't really do the 10,000 thing, right? I fall for that every time. I don't understand. I don't understand why people take joy in that. But if you did, thank you so much. And if you didn't, I don't understand your trolling. Okay, Pixie Rose says, or maybe a Discord reading chat. Well, that's true. That could work. Mods help. Slow mode helps. For the rest, I'd be happy to work with Baz on things he could do to separate your work so he can keep the channel going without you if need be. David for emotions, thank you very much, Wolves Den. We've got so many offers for help. I feel bad that I couldn't possibly coordinate them all if I wanted to at this point. David for motion sickness, I have found that my friends, I turn down the sensitivity on the, yeah, I do that. The head isn't made to move that fast, so it helps to restrict the speed. Yeah. I've done all those, reduced all those. No difference, honestly. See, that's it. I loved Sea of Thieves, but oh my God, I got sick so bad. Oh my gosh. Seraphim333 is gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Thank you very much, Seraphim333. Cool robots. You're right, Footy Manager King. That is right. I really like the robots. And coffee helps, says Etienne. Yeah, I got all sorts of, I always, look, Blade Runner, one of my favorite movies of all time. The idea of of just robot pets, robots instead of pets. This is the Pleo. I love the Pleo. I got to figure out how to program him because I would love, although I got to say the programming on him is amazing already. In fact, I actually like to get a couple more because apparently you can actually get them to interact as well. So I've got Pleos. I've got Easy Robots, which are basically, there's humanoid versions. I let the kids decorate them. I let the kids decorate them the way they want. So there's humanoid versions of the Easy Robot. Although I think I might have added this mohawk myself, now I think about it. But I wanted to demonstrate to the kids that they could do whatever they want with these things. So they just hit them with a bunch of Sharpies, and it works really well. And they have little cameras here as well, right? So this is what I'm saying is I'm using the boards that run this thing will run the Stargate, the moving Stargate model. So there's that. There's Easy. They've got like a 6-legged version. Oh, this little baby right here, the Obot. So this is a British company. And I had for a while there while we were gaming, I had this fine beast sort of watching wherever my mouse went. It would follow wherever my mouse went, the eyes would follow. So yeah, I gotta set up. That's interesting, If I could set up the there's that egg salad sandwich again. If I could set up the Stargate, and I should have multiple cameras for all of the different things. That would actually be really cool. So you'd be able to do different call outs. Oh, I should talk to Fierce Kitty about this. I bet you she could help me out with this. The idea of having different call outs have different actors. That's how I feel actors are. They're robots. Have different robots respond to different things on the stream. That would be really cool. Oh my God. Okay, add that to my list of things to do. Do I have my book with me? I do. This is the only way I can remember stuff now. Bullet journal. And one of the things I've got to remember is to bring a pencil. So bullet journal, absolutely the best way to remember how to get stuff done. Oh, there it is. So pencil, pen, one of these. What have I got? Let's go with blue. So I'm going to write that down because I love that idea. That is brilliant. I don't know whose idea that was. It was fantastic. Okay, robots respond to stream chat. Oh, that would be really cool. Wouldn't that be neat if you want to do a call out and the robot just goes, "Hey, David," or even says your name or something? Like that would be awesome. Okay, wrong mouse. Too many mice going. All right, I hate work. Every American does. You hate work? I have Red Bull if I'm tired, and I hate work. Every American does. I don't know. Do they? If you love what you do, you don't hate work, right? Isn't that it? Okay, can I ask, what is it like to meet Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye? Oh my God. I was just kind of, I guess in a way I was lucky because it was a work related thing. I didn't have a choice. I wasn't allowed to be shy. I wasn't allowed to be, retiring in any way. I had to be there for them. I had to say hi. I had to introduce myself. I had to do scenes with them. And we had Dave Foley there as well, Dave Foley is one of the funniest men that have ever existed. So that helps as well. It was just lovely because I just got to step back and watch people. Bill Nye is like, well, these are the other things as well. Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson are not actors. And they don't pretend to be actors, and they were like, it was like watching a couple of kids goofing around. So it was just really fun. Like I felt like a bit like The Parent, where you just sort of like, okay, look, I'll get all this acting stuff out of the way for you, so we can get to your fun stuff. So it was just amazing. Just amazing personality. Like Bill Nye literally is one of those people at tables who will like set things on fire and show you experiments and things. Neil deGrasse Tyson is just this. He's allowed to have the ego, but he's got this. He's just UK's unflappable. The guy's just like, he knows everything. It's insane. And he's interested in everything. That's what else I love is that, he actually, I think he knows so much because he listens so well in a way. It's amazing. Amazing, guys. All right. Hello, David and everyone. Monica Lake. Just got out of a staff meeting. Lucky you. At least you're finished. At least that's done. Pixie Rose, thank you, David. 29. Oh, I don't know. Then why am I singing you happy birthday? My God, it's too young to even worry about. Man, cool vocals, man. Thanks, Miss Carols. Some pretty good. Wait, are we that far behind? Oh my God, I really am. Okay. I'm zipping through. Okay, I've been told to tell you that for some reason you remind a friend of mine of Quentin Tarantino. First time, story for you. First time I was ever recognized in LA. I'm at a bookstore in Hollywood. And someone said, "Oh man, dude, I've seen all your movies. They're amazing." And I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And he said, "Oh no, sorry, dude. I thought you were Quentin Tarantino." So that was the first time I was ever recognized as Quentin Tarantino. That was it. Okay, time to go back to work. Poor David. Don't worry about the chat. We'll be okay. See you later. Bertley, enjoy. Thank you very, very much. Yes, thank you very much. Half an hour ago. Indeed. Liberty. What do we got? Bertley. Bye, Bertley. Everyone's saying goodbye. Yes. Hope you're doing well. Seraphim. I'm doing very well. Thank you. You too, I hope. So will you ask Paulie to join us for the next watch party? Monica Lake. I will definitely reach out to Paul. Why don't you too? If you guys want to let him know, then please do. And I will. It's actually that could be a really good way of guilting him into it. You all ask him to do it and hound him. And then I can go like, well, look, the audience wants you, so I guess I got to bring you in. That would be good. Vamptious said, my mom saw a science clip of Degrasse Tyson in a YouTube last week, and he commented that, isn't he an actor? My response, he played himself once. McKay doesn't seem the type to subscribe to black magic. No, not at all. It's not me at all. Like when we were incredibly, like we were like 15, 16 years old at this time. And I just, oh my gosh. Part of it was just like reading stuff that you weren't supposed to read, basically, was I think part of it. Where's the floss? Yeah. I really like the way you are running this with it being a shared channel. I've been enjoying all the different parts of here. I know growth of the channel is important to sustain it all, and there are probably things you need to figure out still for it all. But from what I've seen, it has been enjoyable, and you are both doing a great job with it. Oh, fantastic. And then Zeno sent me way too many lemons. Well done. Not Zelenka's fault. It's always Zelenka's fault. Sam Pilo is saying that this is perfect because you've got all the lemons in there. Exactly. I feel like I'm the same, an extrovert hermit. I can be awkward and not want to go out, but also be a huge people person. I know it's weird, isn't it? I mean, that's the whole thing is no one's any one thing, right? It's very, very few people are one clear path. I think it depends on the day as well. Jack Jasra, might be an auto moderation on Twitch. Nightbot shouldn't ban links. Maybe we've had some problem with links that they didn't like. Can you do the snappy fingers thing McKay did when he was thinking? I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a McKay thing. That's a Hewlett thing. I used to do that. That's what not used to. That I do that. I have to stop myself doing it in other shows because I feel like it's like everyone like it'll take everybody who's in the scene out and think Stargate Atlantis, right? So that's so funny. Yeah, I do that. I used to do this, and then they used to start writing it in the script. So, all right, what else we got? Cal, hyperlinks are off. It's not a good idea in a place where everyone can come in and post shady stuff. Ooh, as we've had some stuff here in the past. Ooh, people can DM links to each other or send them on Discord. Okay, that's good to know. All right, great. Although I'm not on Discord right now because it's too many things to do. A napkin, tomato sauce. What? Yeah, exactly. Send me a napkin. Wait, actors are human? No, Seraphim, absolutely not. We're like herds of cats. Karem says, oh, Shepherd the Wise. Hello there. Sorry, I almost missed you there. Fumbles McStupid says it sounds fake. That's probably going back to whatever it was that I was talking about. Cal, just thinking out loud, but is there a way to only allow subscribers to post links? They're a lot less likely to post shady stuff. Karem, you're a genius. Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. And some actors do it to be hounded. They love and live off the attention. You know, it's funny. There are some days where it drags me, where I feel like it's a drag down. Like sometimes when like sometimes because the show's over, there are days, I guess, when I'm feeling a little fragile where we'll talk about it and I'll go like, oh, that was so much fun. I missed that. So sometimes you can get into sort of a mourning, like kind of a mourning as in like, grieving thing. But for the most part, I would say it usually perks me up. Like when I see someone and talk to someone about Stargate, like especially in the real world, I come out of it feeling really good about it. Because, for the most part, people don't come up to you and tell you that you sucked in the show and you hated it and ruined it. Although there have been people, for the most part, that doesn't happen. So it usually come out of it feeling pretty good about yourself. So, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to sign? I've signed parts of people's anatomies for autographs, which has happened weirdly more than once. And I just can't imagine. I've got the ugliest signature. I can't imagine wanting that permanently on my body, or even permanent. I keep trying to change my signature in the hopes that they'll come up with a cooler one. Like I want Rainbow's signature, except Rainbow's signature takes like 20 minutes to do. No, is there a way to make the bot allow permissions? I do not have access to the bot though, but there should be the ability to set up a permit command. Thank you, Karem. Thank you, Jack Jasper. Cal, why don't you have permission to this stuff? I thought you were the ban bot. You were basically you were the hammer, I thought. Jack says, but isn't there a permit system where you can allow selected people to post links? I don't know. Oh, good question, says Pac-Mom. His River says, oh, grass. So I was trying to do their chat for them. So my favorite autograph story is when I ran over Jason Momoa with a baby stroller twice. I'm amazed that your baby and stroller survived that. Jack Jastra. The link protection is in the Twitch auto moderation, though. Nightbot does allow it right now. Thank you, Jack. I would love to have seen that, says Pac-Mom. It's true. I mean, although I got to say, Jason is a lovely man too. I mean, he can be pretty scary and intimidating, but he's generally pretty lovely to talk to. So, and again, as long as he's, if you get the sense that he's being rushed away or he is rushing away, then you don't pursue him. But if he looks like he's open to it, then you say hi. I mean, so I would, deep down, that guy is a lovely, lovely man. Cal. Which is something I would say about just about everybody on Stargate. I gotta say is that one of the great things about the show was just how, sort of in tune all the actors were. A lot of the majority of the crew, majority of the producers and stuff. Just like kind of neat people. I mean, they were just fun to be around. Frankly, I miss them. All right, love the video background. Atlantis, always a good choice. I think so, and so did Nerdy Times. It will lock in eventually. Nerdy Times did that for me. Bashful Apothecary. It really surprised me how people will be around celebrities. I went Walking Dead convention. Oh, Walking Dead. I don't watch the show. I'll tell you why. Because, I don't know if you can see it from here, but a vast majority of the graphic novels in the background there are Walking Dead. Is that right? Or did I put them away somewhere? Maybe I put them away. I might have put them in my filing cabinet to keep them safe. But the idea is, I love the graphic novel so much I couldn't watch the show. I started watching it and I was like, I don't want those faces. I want the graphic novel. So, Seraphim gifting 5 tiers. Thank you so much. My God, I really am behind because I remember that showing up. Okay, not sure if Nightbot is blah, blah, blah. I call it Giant Space Robot. I like that. Random guy. Whoosh. And yet, if someone, random guy, yeah, they'd be the first to shout, who's this? What's going on? What? I went to a walking dead convention once and overheard that women were copping feels of the male actors' butts during photo ops. And when told to stop, they didn't think it was much of a big deal. Yeah, I don't understand that, frankly, because I would think most women understand what that's like for them. I do think there's a slight difference with men, perhaps, but I feel that it's something that that will ruin it for everybody. Because I've had a couple of situations where people have done incredibly inappropriate things, and frankly, it just ruins it for everybody. Because either you're out for the count for a while you have to sort of get your head clear or whatever, or you're just not in the mood. Like you become much more defensive, and the longer you're around that kind of stuff, the less responsive you are to people engaging with you, right? So I can only imagine what it's like for women in this situation, because I just think that'd be pretty grim. So don't grab people's butts and think you're getting away. You're not getting away with anything. I usually mention it to somebody, and then people are going to find themselves suddenly no longer welcome in lines for photos and things. Okay, David, if it'd be okay if I did a shout out for Geek Arming on your Discord channel, of course, go ahead, please do. Geek Army, do it. Fumbles McStupid has been playing Clash of the Clans for so long. And my son got me into it. I started doing it. We started an army. We recruited all these people, and then I haven't played it for ages. Been trying to drag my son off it. I finally got him the addiction settled. But it's this amazing army of Clash of the Clans. If anyone wants to get in on that, is there a way? Yes. Well, I guess Discord would be the way to look at that now. I could go in and put it in here as well if I got onto Discord as well. Can I do that? See what happens. I'm a little worried that the Discord might screw things up, but we'll see. So if things screw up, it's entirely Fumbles McStupid's fault, I think, probably. Was that who it was who asked? Was it Fumbles? All right, where are we at? I love the O-Bot. Isn't it great? Where are we at? I just finished the series again recently. Wolf's Den, well done. Several of the actors stopped doing selfies because of it as well. Yeah, I'm sure. Garmer. Thanks, Ivan. Who's Ivan? What's Ivan done now? Oh, Ivan the new... Oh, wow. Ivan, thank you so much. Holy cow. Ivan, you rock. How did I miss that? Have I scrolled too far? Have I missed something? Okay. All right. Just because you're paying for the time doesn't mean that you're entitled to touch them. I remember I once accidentally almost went too low when I was hugged, and then because an actor shorter than I anticipated. All right. Yeah. See, that's it. Look, mistakes happen. Like, absolutely mistakes happen. By accident, and I think the best thing to do probably is to make mention of it, so that no one thinks you're trying to cop a feel or anything like that. Like, just go, I'm so sorry, I totally misjudged that, or whatever. Also, don't fake it, because rarely are people that good. Wolf's Den loves their job, that's good. I like the eyes. I just do eyes. Oh, good, it's not just me that feels that way towards the robot. See? What do you mean? The eyes, they're great. Come on. Look at them staring into your very soul. Yes. I like my job, but not the company I work for so much. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Carroll. That really is what it comes down to for work, isn't it? It's really who you're working with. Again, why I'm very lucky with the Stargate stuff is because I got to work with really cool people. I hate that my resources aren't capable of doing all the work I need to do. Yeah. Wolf's Den. I'm sure that's, it's got to be pretty frustrating. Pyro says, no one knows when it's appropriate to touch people. People used to touch me at my job at a movie theater. Really? That's so weird. I mean, I for a while there, I wondered if I had like a form of autism, because I am not good at being touched. I can sort of put it on or put it off, I guess, during convention stuff, but I do not like my personal space invaded. I do not like physical contact. I just know that it's a part of what I do that has to happen. So Yeah, that's interesting. I was at a con and my son Ronan ran into Momoa, knocked him over while I was pushing a stroller through the door. I screamed "Ronan!" as he fell, and he just looked at me, and I was so embarrassed to laugh out loud. I know he thought I was yelling at him, but then like 2 hours later, I turned a corner and ran smack into him with a double stroller with both my toddlers in it. And a little bit later, he hung up the phone he was on and came over to take photos, signed autographs. Oh, good, 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 good. Yeah, Jason, he's a lovely guy. You don't have to worry about him. King MC Plays. Pyrup is saying, like an hour and a half, but who knows how long this is going to go on for. What? What's that? I'm sorry, that must have been awful. That sounds awesome. Okay, Eversong is an awesome story. Bad code swish. You share so much of your family life on Twitch. How do you deal with that level of openness on days when things aren't going so well? Arguments, tantrums, growing kid stuff. Interesting question, Bad Code. I don't know. I struggle with it. I definitely struggle with it. I worry that, I only ever post the happy stuff, and then people think that it's just like all, wine and roses. Because it's not. I mean, the parenting is just about managing like guilt and fear, basically. This fear of screwing up, guilt of doing all the wrong things. Trying to do what's right for the kid and what's right for you. I mean, I absolutely, I hope, I would like to, in a way, not be more open, but I'd like to be more open about the conflict involved in this. I mean, I don't want to like post videos of us shouting at each other, but it happens. I mean, all the time. I am unreasonably naggy. I'm so uptight. I'm very McKay. I mean, we joked about watching Childhood's End the other day and how McKay like I was with the kids. I'm very much like that with my kid and his friends and stuff, right? But I usually find the response is really good because they're treated basically like an equal in many ways. Actually, funny little story about parenting. We watched Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels the other night because Jane, huge fan of his early films, Guy Ritchie's films. In fact, I think she went to school. I can't remember if she went to school with him or his friends or something. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, point being, big fan of his movies, early movies, I think. I'm not sure about the later ones. I can only speak to that. So we were watching that movie. We watched it with Baz, and it is absolutely inappropriate, as are most of the films we watch with Baz. He seems to revel in it. But we came out of it, and we were all doing the accents and swearing at each other in the most absolutely inappropriate way possible, like just killing ourselves laughing because I was like, you get your fucking ass to, oops, I shouldn't do that, should I? You get your ass to bed, and you get, do all this back and forth, all this very sort of like Cockney rhyming slang stuff, and Baz was like just sending it right back, and then we realized that the window was open and that there were people like, there were people out on their porch, our neighbors out on the porch and stuff. And I could just think like, oh my God, like who's calling child services now? Because I was like threatening to shove his whatever up his, what. And it was all, of course, in jest. But yeah, so that's one of my slightly questionable choices as a parent. All right. I was the worst. I flinched when a woman touched me and she complained to management. What? No, they can't do that. That sucks. I got behind a guy who accidentally touched one of the female actors a little low on the hip. She was like 6 inches taller than him, and he was mortified when he did it and immediately stepped back and was apologizing. But that's the way to go. Absolutely do that. If there's any doubt, then you step back and apologize. Absolutely. I think that's the best way of doing it. Emperor Bariliv, you've got Bariliv. I get it. Bariliv. Yes, I think you've definitely caught that is definitely the way it works around here. It's like, oh my God, I'm so far behind. Let me tell you a story. Absolutely, you've got it. You're gonna fit in beautifully here. What's your hat? Oh, come on. You can't tell me? Let me give you a hint. He's glued to the ceiling. There you go. I don't know if you can see that. It's Boba Fett. I ran out of space, so I started gluing things to the ceiling. It was Baz's idea. Jane says that maybe I shouldn't always take my son's advice on these things. Okay, I have to overhear the complaint. I touched your staff member without permission, and she didn't seem to like it. What? I'd have liked to overhear that complaint. Yeah, seriously. I touched your staff member without permission, and she didn't seem to like it. Yeah. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Last geekinessy. Hi, David. Do you want to be a part of my online FedCon live stream next weekend? Just sent you an email. That sounds amazing. What's the plan? What's the plan on that? And of course, I asked that, and then I have to scroll for 20 minutes. So I would definitely consider dropping in. Weekends just with the Baz while he's at school is a little precious, and I have used up a lot of them. But I will certainly look at dropping in. I thought for some reason, I thought I was gonna do something with that. Something went back and forth about FedCon. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is on that. I have to look at that. I've also got, because it's FedCon, it's handled by my agent or whatever they're called for these things. So she'll tell me what we're doing or not doing on that, I'm sure. But I'd love to say hi. Poor Radek, what now? I was paid less $10 an hour, not enough to put up with random touch. No, you know what? There's not enough money on the planet for people to be doing that. That's just weird. And frankly, that's a lawsuit in the waiting, Pyro. I mean, frankly, that's like you could go for the company for that, because that's ridiculous. They shouldn't be condoning any of that kind of behavior. Thanks for the finger snapping. By the way, I do that now too. Good. Okay, how much stream delay is there? Like a lot, like an hour. I clipped David singing you happy birthday. Oh, thank you, Bashful. That's great. You can use that to embarrass me forever. Pac-Bomb says, Riversong, hubby and I were golfing a great golf course years ago. Anyway, Ranger asked if a guy could join us. And we were like, sure. We're chatting away with this guy, having a great day. Talking about the jobs. He got shy. When he finally shared what he did, he said he played hockey. No clue. Finally admits he was a pro hockey player. Raced off thinking we were going to go all crazy about his celebrity status. No clue who he was. Yeah. When it comes to sports people, I don't have a clue. Herd of cats. Yep. D&D. Just like that. Some dude used to pull tickets away from me as a joke when I grabbed them. He stopped when I started staring at him deadpan. Yeah, deadpan works pretty well. Evil eye. Hilarious. Laugh a lot. I'd let you sign my man boobs. Well, thank you, Sampulo. I really look forward to seeing those. That's an image I don't need. I had a good half an hour chat with someone at a con once. I had no idea that he was one of the con guests for a sci-fi series I didn't know about until much later. I love that, Riversong. Like we have chats all the time, and then I have chats with people, and then they'll suddenly go like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't know that." I'm like, I'm absolutely happy that you didn't, so that we could have a normal chat. Don't forget about NASA's SpaceX DM2 launch. Good point. Thank you, John P7. I'll have to check that out. What time is that? Did you know that Bill Nye is one of the shows he was on lists McKay as his nemesis? I know. That's because of Martin Garrow. Wonder if there's an ego killer for a celeb. Wonder if that is an ego killer for a celeb. What is that? Not knowing who you are? No, never. I never expect people to know who I am. What's the worst acting job you've had? I worked on what was the worst acting job I ever had? My God, there was a few. One of the first ones I did was on a TV show out here, like a crime drama thing, and I played a male prostitute, and it was like -30, and I had to wear like, not shorts, but like skinny jeans and a t-shirt. It was -30, and it was such a small role that they basically just put me on the corner and then went to shoot the scene. And I was so cold. I had like frostbite. I was just dying. I thought I never want to do this again. Luckily, I did. Anyway. There's a Hewlett reading comments delay. Thank you, Bad Coach. See, look at that. Bad Coach, which has already got this down, has already realized that it's like I'm like a fragile little lamb out there in the internet, in the wilds of the internet, and I need help all the time. All right, what do we got? Okay. Hydrate. Good point. Oh my God, I'm out of coffee. Wow, I really did find the right channel to hang out on. All my same interests here. Yeah, I'm sure. Developmental disability is hard. You kind of need to be more considerate towards the person because they didn't know, but it's still assault and it affects you the same way. And I do autistic self-advocacy work, and I'm autistic, and it's difficult to balance. I am sure. This is it. It's this weird situation we're in now where you can be the victim, the victim and the perpetrator, or the perpetrator and the victim. And I do think, we do need to be aware of a lot of that kind of stuff. And one of the biggest issues that mental health is a huge part of this stuff, for both sides of that equation. I'm by no means condoning it in any way. And I also think there are people who will obviously push that more than they should. But, it's still, I think when it comes to that, the sanctity of one's personal temple, you need to sort of like pull it back a bit. Send it to hell where it belongs, Pyro. What is this? I have one student that does, and what is this, David? That's a total of 27 hydrates you missed. Holy cow. Creepy robot, put it back, send it to hell where it belongs. Everyone loves that robot. Give me the power to get rid of those darned hydrates. Yeah, Cal, you know what? Talk to Baz, because I hate the hydrate thing, even though I probably should. My job, people don't try to touch me. They typically move away from me. There you go, Spectre, you got it solved. Pyro says, autism is often comorbid with ADHD. Sometimes the sensory stuff appears in ADHD as well. I've got them both, so who knows which is which. That's interesting. I mean, the thing that I discovered, which was interesting to me, was that all of this is on a spectrum, that everyone has aspects of this, some of them more, some of them less. So, we have to be sort of aware that some people are going to have different sort of cutoffs for these things, things that they do that other people wouldn't do, and things that they wouldn't do that other people would. So, my kiddo has passed 1 year, and I fear doing the wrong thing. That said, thank you for sharing about the bad times you have with your son. Spectre, look, I'll tell you, I found the first 2 years with Baz the hardest because I felt so freaking useless. And I thought, like, I love it, but I don't, but is that it? Like, I'm supposed to be, I felt like it was an obligation for the first 2 years, that I was obligated to love this kid. And that I was worried that I didn't love him enough, or that I was somehow not connected. And then all of a sudden they start laughing at your jokes, and then you can't disconnect. You are stuck. But I definitely think for men, and I'm sure maybe I can only speak to the men because that's what I am. I think for us, the first couple of years are really tough because you're really just you're in just slave mode, where you just have to do everything you can to provide and to look after and to support your wife, your kid, or your partner or whatever. But I definitely found the first couple of years really tough because I loved him. I loved that weird little froggy thing, but in like a pet, I loved him. And then all of a sudden, when they start reacting to you that way, it's a whole other world. Then you're doomed, basically. Yeah, you're doomed. So basically what I'm saying, Spectre, is you're doomed. Pyro, yeah, it's just like, what, who? What was that like? Oh, it's just him. And then later I just started talking to him, basically told him your feelings aren't justified. You're being unreasonable to complain when it's not his fault. That was like a punch in the gut. What's this? Oh man, I'm missing everything. You know what? I'm not going to go back because I doubt I'll figure it out. Ship. It sounds like a Wednesday night at our house, says Q Park. Pac-Mom, parenting is not for the faint of heart. I think when we as parents openly share that ugly times, we realize we all struggle with the same things. We can't let go of the guilt because it's just not it's not just our own struggles. Yeah, no, it's absolutely. Nephron ingest. What is this? Ingest. Ingest, like, would that be like another button where you press it and I get pizza? I'd like that one. I'm honestly pretty surprised there aren't more people here. I thought you'd have thousands, even 10K people on here. Emperor Barriev. Look, I welcome more people, but this is hard enough to keep track of as it is anyways. And, I probably should have actually, I wanted to let Reddit know I was doing this. I wanted to let Twitter and all the other ones know, but I just thought it was more important to just get on here and start talking. So I'm sure I could promote it more. Feel free to let people know. I'm happy to have more people. I just, I try to keep up with everybody. I forgot about your boba on the ceiling, says Wolves Den. How could you have forgotten that? Sometimes your feelings are justified, sometimes it's just your fault. You can complain and be passionate about it's not black and white. Very true. The Fed guy just stopped by to thank you. Oh, wow. There you go. Well, thank you for stopping by to thank you about 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes? I'm 20 minutes behind on oh, forget it. Should I just zip? Should I jump? Should I jump now? What do you think? I'm jumping. Okay, if I've missed anything, you're going to have to let me know, but I feel really bad. Like, I feel like this is almost like, it's like no longer a live show. Yeah, we better not tax David too much by getting more people on here. Exactly. Don't tell anybody about it. All right, who's going? Bye, Karem. Is Karem out of here? Did Karem go? Bye, Karem. Karem. Araxos. Thank you very much. Karem, have a wonderful evening, morning, or whatever it is that you're working on. I'm not going to scroll back. I'm going to stick with the live now. I'm live. If you get too many people, put it on slow mode. I know, but how does that work? Does that mean that slows it down for everybody? Does slow mode... hey, I didn't mean it like that. Just that I expected more people to jump on the chance to chant. Oh, no, Emperor, I didn't take any offense by that. Not at all. No, no, absolutely. I have not... we've been doing this for a year. sort of on and off for a year with Baz, and it's been sort of more about Baz and gaming than this kind of thing. I think for some reason for some reason there seem to be more people who want to chat than there do the gaming thing, which I guess I understand. But I wanted to separate that from the kid stuff because I didn't want Baz. Or a couple of times when people sort of like intimated that they did that the kid stuff was getting in the way of the chat stuff, and I really don't want that, especially for people who are new to this, who don't know what's going on. They're like, shut the kid up, I want to talk to him about whatever. So I wanted to make sure that we separated that a bit for people, so that if anyone has any things that they want to, if there's this kind of stuff you want to do, let's do it on Tuesdays, because it's perfect for that. And obviously the live streams as well, the live viewings as well. Oh my God, how are we doing for time? 2:25. 2:25. Oh my God. Okay, no, then okay, I'll go till 2:30. How's that? Okay, extra charge for chats. $1 a letter. And I hear $1. All right, maybe add a 2-minute slow mode. That way people have time to say things in one go, and you can only say that one thing until the slow mode cooldown is over. I see. I'll have to experiment with that. But I'm interested in listening to someone talk about neurodiversity and taking questions or whatever. Oh, that'd be interesting. Anyone interested in listening to someone talk about neurodiversity and taking questions or whatever? I find that stuff fascinating. But the question I would have is, who's doing the talking and how's it work? I like to keep your ego in check, David, but I'm sure everyone is grateful that you took so much time to make sure you respond to everyone. Thank you. Yuck, I feel dirty now, as you should. Cal? What's wrong with Cal? Cal's being nice. So this is not Cal. I think Cal's account's being hacked. Cal, you're lovely. Thank you. All right. To be honest, there was a momentary novelty to the McKay's on Twitch, but it wears off fast. Be replaced by McKay's actor is actually a pretty cool dude. Yeah, you're not gonna get much McKay here. I mean, you'll get me. You'll get definitely the Hewlett portion of McKay here for sure, and a few McKayisms here and there. And I'm happy to talk about it. But yes, it's definitely a mixed bag here for sure. I am all over the place. I am fully embracing my ADHD here. So no, for sure. Someone who's probably more interested in this side of it, I wouldn't want to take away from the Baz's thing. Yeah, that's it. And I just want to, I also think it's not even just about taking it away from Baz. I'm not worried about that. Baz gets plenty of quality gaming time with his father. But it was more, I think, for everybody else, is I feel like it's got to be hard. I remember when I didn't have kids and I didn't understand that this obsession with constantly, keeping them in the loop on stuff. So I get it for people who don't have kids. I get it. All right. Yes. You know what? Who was saying that? That was Evening Star. Okay. Evening Star. So the deal is this. Here's the deal. Soliloquio is a website that I created because I saw a lot of people posting soliloquies and monologues and acting auditions and stuff online, but all on social media, which to me is like trying to do a one-man show in a discotheque or a dance club. There's so many distractions with social media, and you don't really go there for many quiet moments of reflection and paintings, you find you don't sort of sit there staring at them forever in social media. You sort of flick on to the next one. There's too many distractions. So what I wanted was a website that actors and writers could experiment with roles that they wouldn't normally play. And also for people who were starting out, who wanted to post somewhere where they could try some stuff out, possibly get some feedback or not. I mean, honestly, I think this is for the actors, basically. Now, what did happen was, as soon as I started posting it for the actors, I realized that I got a lot of interest from casting and producers and directors and stuff that I'd spoken to about it, because they were like, oh, this is great. I'm always looking for new people, for different, like, new talent, or sometimes I don't think of an actor that way, and it's like really cool. You go like, oh my God, the guy from Stargate, he can also play nice people. Or not fat people, as my son would say. So the idea was to sort of have a place where people could post videos, no matter what level of actor they were, whether they're just starting out, whether they were established. It'd be great to have established actors in there doing stuff and trying stuff out. So I've approached a few of my actor friends about that. I invite you to do the same. if there are people you follow, actors that you follow that you'd like to see them do some fun new stuff, like let them know about it. Because what I'm doing right now is getting together a collection of as many monologues as I can. And this includes writers as well. If you want to write a monologue, post it up on Soliloquio, because there's a chance that you will get actors to actually perform it, or maybe get some notes on it so that they can perform it or whatever. I mean, the idea is basically to create a place where people go to see acting, to do acting, to read some writing, and to do some writing. And then the sort of the added advantage to that is because, I've been in the industry for as long as I have, in many parts of the world now, I have access to a lot of casting agents and directors and producers and writers, actors, everybody. So I can sort of include them in this, and it's like that rising tide lifting all the boats. The hope is that the more people we get in here, the more opportunities there are going to be for people who wouldn't have opportunities to get seen otherwise. One of my best friends is a producer who produces, who's a First Nations woman producer who produces a lot of films that involve, that tell Indigenous stories up in Canada here. And she was struggling to find young Indigenous actors. And I was like, that's insane. Like, why? Like, we're Canada, for God's sake. We pride ourselves on diversity. I had the same issue when I was developing a couple of shows. I kept getting pitched people who were from the wrong race, culture, because they were like, well, they're still diverse. What does it matter if they're Asian instead of Indigenous, or they're Italian, good enough, that works for Asian. It all covers your diversity stuff. So I was like shocked. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I live in a country that prides itself on this stuff, and we can't do this. So I thought, again, this is a website where you don't have to be a union member. You don't have to be going to fancy theater schools. You can be from anywhere, any background. As long as you've got a cell phone with a camera on it, you can record a monologue and put it up there and have just as much chance of someone finding you the perfect person in their new project than anyone else. And I think that's really, really important, especially now, because I think things are so complicated now. It was so easy back in the day where you just, you got your headshots and you did your theater, and then you invited agents to theater, and it was a complicated process, but it was very clear what you needed to do to get there. I managed to jump a lot of that by doing short films with friends, which at the time wasn't a very obvious way of going, because most people didn't have access to the cameras and, well, to the talent that I did. I had friends who were just very talented filmmakers, so I got to make films before I got hired for them. So the idea is to do that here. Again, YouTube, not the best place for these things. Like, I wanted a place that was just for this. So that's what I've done. I've created it now. It's called Soliloquio. I will put it in here. Please, again, it's not really up or particularly live at this point, but it is accepting I get it wrong every time. It's accepting submissions now. So if there are any writers out there who want to try a monologue, it's got to be 3 minutes or less. So I wouldn't go more than 2 and a bit pages then. And the idea is it's one person, only one person allowed on camera at the time. You are not allowed to cut the camera. There's no edits. There's no fancy editing or cuts or music or any of that kind of stuff. It's purely about the words, whether you're speaking them or whether you've written them. So that's the dig. That's the way it works. If you're interested in monetizing them, maybe you can have casting companies pay membership fees. Well, this is it. I mean, at some point I will have to monetize it. I'm already in $1,000 or so, as my wife points out. Just with setup and a lot, like hours and hours and hours of WordPress configuration and chats with Harklight, who's been fantastic helping me out. And does anyone else stream on Twitch like this from Stargate? David Blue does. I know that. Someone said that Rachel has a YouTube channel. I think a lot of people have YouTube. I don't know about the Twitch thing. And I'm assuming David does chats as well, right? I haven't watched a lot of that stuff. Jenna Strand, thank you. Lovely hearts and wings. So that's the idea. If you, as I say, so if you've got a favorite actor out there other than me, because I'll be doing a monologue at some point, but I also don't want to make it about me. I think it's important. I don't want to launch the site and say, look, here's me doing a monologue. That is not what the site's about. It is about getting people some attention. So my hope was to get I want to put together like a library of at least like, I don't know, what's a good number? 100? I'd love 100, at least 100 monologues to put up. I already have, I've already had like 80 people sign up. So we'll see how many show up on that. I think it might be more now. And then I'm about to spend a little bit more money to do an ad in Backstage in the hopes of just letting people know, because I just want to let people know while we're in lockdown, it seems like the perfect time to be doing this. It's good for your sanity. It's good for potentially for your career as well. And look, ideally, I'd love it to become a point where it's a business that can self-sustain itself. That'd be fantastic. But again, I think right now my focus is on, I want as many scripts and monologues up there as I can. So that's the deal on that. So sorry, you asked about it. I went on way too long. Oh wow! So Neil Grayson from Eureka, Fargo from Eureka. Oh, that's cool. I could bother my theater friends. Pyro, please do. Like, please do. You got me monologuing. It's so true. You know what's so funny is I was actually going to call it monologuing. That was originally what I was looking up, but I think someone has already taken that domain. I wanted a domain that I just wanted to make sure that I had the domain. Although monologuing, I'm pretty sure I looked up monologuing. I should double check if monologuing.com is taken. I'll do that later. David, distraction, squirrel. All right, look, what time is it? 2:35. I should get out of here. I am ridiculously chatty today. Whoa, you always there? Ya Poutine. What? I'm so confused with what's going on there. I do play Pokemon Go. Yes. I do play Pokemon Go. I haven't played it for ages. Friend code, I'll have to find it and bring it. I'll have to bring it next time I do this. Don't click that. Don't click what? What? Don't click what? What? Huh? How about McKaying.com? Yeah, that would work, Cytex. I like that. Again, though, I'm trying to, like, there are some ones out there that are just for genre actors and things. And the idea here is to open it up to everybody, because not every actor is fortunate enough to have done, science fiction stuff the way I have. I wondered about eventually doing like live shows where people could actually do a live monologue, and maybe they could raise money for like their favorite charity or something like that. Use that. Maybe that could be a model that could work for us. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best approach is, but right now I just want to get as much up there as possible, because I think if we can sort of prove it as a concept, there's probably some arts grants that I could get to help out with the costs. Or failing that, because I'm not really good at grants. I tend to work better on the business side of stuff. There may be some business interest there as well. Actually, it's funny because DStat contacted me the other day and said, "I want in. How do I be a part of this?" So who knows? Maybe there is private investment the way to go with it. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. His River Song. Thank you very much for that info. Neil Grayson. All right, very good. Is Grayson World. I love it. All right. When I enter here, it said poutine. Again, you remember the shot of poutine. I love poutine, I gotta say. I love learning about grant writing with school and my COVID quarantine time. Let me know if I can help. Pac Mom, thank you very much. Although you've got studying to do, Pac Mom. Jenna Strand says, David, the poutine was my fault. I was talking about making a monologue out of it. I like the idea of a poutine monologue. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Clean, thank you. Watch the movies at Dog's Breakfast. Oh, that's so good. Humor was brilliant. Love the offbeat humor. Very British. Monty Python. Or even, thank you. The whole idea was to do a Pink Panther movie with that. That was the goal for that. Thank you for the coffee time. I know I've gone from coffee time. I'm going to be like basically going to go upstairs and make tea now. It's like it's ready for my afternoon tea. All right, everybody. Look, and again, thank you for the raid. That was amazing. And so there's a whole bunch of new people here that I now know, which is fantastic. And so I better leave you to it. So again, I don't have my trusty assistant here to shut me down, but I will have to do it myself. So look, until we geek again, thank you very much. I will see you again. Well, I will see you like this next Tuesday at 12:30 again. And before that, I think we'll be streaming, Baz and I will be streaming gaming stuff Wednesday night and Saturday night, probably some other days as well. But yeah, I'll do my best to keep you posted. I'll try to do some newsletters. Yes, good point. Man, I got a list of things I got to do now because of you all. Thank you all. Cheerio. Have a great day. Stay safe. And it's just kind of fun hanging out with you. Thank you very much. Let's do it again soon. Cheers.